This is Neil's on Dynasty. Please like, share, subscribe. Get yourself some kitty cats, they're fun. Buy some silver, some platinum, and some crystallized osmium. Also fun. And be kind, helpful, and grateful. It's also fun. What's also fun is everyone thinking improperly about Brics. I understand people are saying, oh, it's going to change the world. It's going to make America bankrupt. It's going to be the new Jesus Christ. Okay, I understand your enthusiasm. It reminds me of a high school football game and you're in the cheerleader squad going, hey, go Bricks. But you're ignoring facts. See, in history, for example, during World War II, how much trade did America do with Germany during the war and before the war? So, they were on the SWIFT type system. America was ruling the economic world, and we didn't do business with Germany. Okay, cool. Why didn't we do business with them? Because we were fixing to go to war with them. Understandable. Now everyone in the Brics cheerleading squad seems to think that Brics is going to be a great thing, even if two countries in Brics go to war. No, we don't want to think about that. We only want to think about profit margin. We don't want to think about facts. Okay, facts are this. Brics might work for inter-country exchange, for large monetary goods and services exchange. The problem with Brics is if China and India go to war, they're not going to be trading with each other. India launches second nuclear submarine amid growing Chinese activity. First post 20 minutes ago. Why are the friends and lovers of profit margin, that's why they started Bric, for everyone who's out there, you think the only reason they started Brics was to kill America and become wealthy. Why is India building nuclear submarines to stop Brics from coming into their backyard? But that's not a problem. No, people build nuclear bombs all day. We're just worried about profit margin here. Profit margin is the only thing that we look at when we talk about Brics. We're not talking about the reality of a possible nuclear war between China, Brics, and India, Brics, because when they go to nuclear war with each other, they're going to be trading money and we can profit off that. No, they are not. No, they are not. Get your heads out of your anuses and look at the bigger picture. Brics might be a little something. It's going to have a hard fight, especially if China and India are going to war. Brics has a harder fight uphill. Okay, so let's get real with it. Let's see what Brics thinks about Brics, or the part of Brics you don't want to see, India. Let's see what India thinks about Brics China. Let's see how loving and cooperative they are. Cooperation and love, peace and joy.
India faces a new challenge on the high seas. China is ramping up its naval operations in India's backyard this week.
What? The two love kumbaya countries who are going to be wealthy and destroy America's economic system don't like each other because one of them wants to take over the other one? Say it ain't so. Tell me their communist country wouldn't do that. What is Brics? Loaded up with communist countries. Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the economy.
An Indian Navy ship docked in Colombo. Chinese warships were also present. Not one, not two, but 3 Chinese vessels. They just happened to be in Colombo at the same time. What are the odds? These visits are becoming more frequent now. Beijing now deploys 12 to 15 ships to the Indian Ocean every year. 12 to 15 Chinese ships. How should India respond to this? How can it keep Chinese naval activity in check? With the help of submarines, India is deploying nuclear submarines to build deterrence. The latest one was launched today. It is called the INS Arighat.
Okay, so the peaceful, loving, kumbaya, gonna make all the money in the world Brics countries are building nuclear deterrence to stop each other from being all kumbaya love and making money. Wow, what an oxymoron. If only American consumers could see that angle.
Arighat means the destroyer of enemies. The submarine runs on nuclear power.
What? What? So hold on, let's see the psychology of this. They make a ship, they name it Destroyer of Enemies, a nuclear submarine. They name it Destroyers of Enemies to deter not America, not England, no Western colonial countries, but to deter a Brics country. Wow, they must really be getting along. Their playground is evolving to where they're going to be playing with nuclear wars with each other in the backyard. It's like, here, Tommy, throwing nuclear wars, bombs back and forth because they're friends, loving, peaceful, kumbaya, all because you want them to succeed with their money system. You don't consider that they want to kill each other. And they're building nuclear weapons to do it. And you just heard her say, as a deterrent to China, India is building this, and they named it Destroyer of Enemies to deter China, their Brics loving kumbaya neighbor who they're going to make all this money with. How odd.
And it can launch nuclear missiles. India's defense minister launched the submarine today. The INS Arighat will strengthen India's nuclear triad. And what is a nuclear triad? It is the ability to launch nuclear weapons from land, sea, and air. India gained this capability in 2018 with the INS Arihant becoming fully operational. Arihant was India's first nuclear-capable submarine. INS Arighat will now support the INS Arihant. These are a special class of submarines. They're called SSBN. SSBN stands for Ship, Submersible, Ballistic, and Nuclear. In simpler words, an SSBN is like a Swiss Army knife of submarines, from staying submerged for months to launching ballistic missiles to stealth capabilities and launching nuclear weapons. These vessels can do all of it. Also, they don't need to be refueled frequently. Conventional submarines usually run on diesel, so they have to resurface periodically to be refueled. But SSBMs have a small nuclear reactor on board. This reactor powers the submarine, and that is how they stay submerged.
Actually, she used a misnomenclature. It's not a small nuclear reactor. Small nuclear reactors are actually bigger than that. It is and this is a confusion you'll hear on my show. I try and straighten out. It is a micro nuclear reactors. Micro nuclear reactors are not like SMRs, which I talk about on my show, small modular reactors. Micro nuclear reactors can fit inside containers that you can put on the back of 18-wheelers, and they also can be put in submarines. So what she said was a lie. It's not a small modular reactor or an SMR. It is a micro nuclear reactor, and that is the future of power for the world, along with other sources that are coming out soon.
For a long period of time. Now, why does India need such submarines? For starters, it improves our deterrence. India has a no first use policy, meaning it will never strike an enemy with nuclear weapons first. No first use. And upholding this principle requires effective deterrence. What if there's a nuclear strike and India's land and air options are impaired? What do you do then? In that scenario, submarines will ensure that India can still retaliate. Both INS Arihant and Arighat operate under the water, so they're less vulnerable to a nuclear strike. They can carry up to 4 nuclear missiles. These missiles have a range of over 3,500 kilometers, so apart from boosting deterrence, they also give India leverage on the high seas and extend India's nuclear reach far beyond its borders. But New Delhi has a more immediate concern: the Chinese Navy and its growing fleet of ships and submarines. In pure numbers, China is way ahead of India. The PLA is the largest naval force in the world. In 2020, it had more than 70 submarines, 70 submarines with China in 2020. What about India? The Indian Navy was operating less than 20 subs. Now, India's
By the way, about that Chinese sub thing, I actually did a report about 9 months ago on a Chinese sub that got sunk, and it had all of their submariner commanders on it because it was a new sub, and they were running through tests on that sub. They had all the commanders and all their number one submariners on it, and they lost every one of them. It happened about a little less than a year ago. So that crippled the fighting power of the Chinese submarine fleet, because those 70 commanders, probably 30 of them were on the one sub that sank. end of last year. I never got reports of why it sunk. It was kept hush hush, but it was confirmed that it sunk and all hands on board died. It had their admirals, their commanders. They were like going to Yahoo this new submarine, but it ended up failing and killing all of them. So the Chinese submarine fleet is actually a ghost fleet. It's ineffective and unusable.
Trying to bridge this gap, the plan is to acquire 24 new vessels by 2030, 24 new submarines. This will include 18 conventional and 6 nuclear-powered subs. There are also plans to beef up.
I got a question. Why would they want 24 more subs to deter their kumbaya, peace-loving, happy, joyfulness neighbor of Brics country, China? They're not building up for war against America or England or Europe. They specifically are building up for war against their Brics-loving, kumbaya, love you, peaceful neighbors making money together, Brics country nation. 24 subs is about well over $100 billion, and they're fast tracking them. Why would a country fast track 24 subs, 6 of them being nuclear subs, to have in the next 6 years? Seriously, folks, put your thinking caps on. It's not that hard to figure out. A lot of people lying to you.
The SSBM fleet to have up to 4 such submarines in the near future, and this will make India the only non-permanent member of the UN Security Council to operate at such a scale. And where would these submarines be deployed? Mostly around...
That was key, by the way. India on the UN Council. China's not on that council. That's why they're going to lose.
India's immediate borders, like the Bay of Bengal, the Andaman Sea, and the northern part of the Indian Ocean. These regions are strategically significant for not just India but China as well. Many important trade routes pass through these waters, which is why China keeps sending ships here. It wants to dominate these waters. India's new fleet of vessels will help keep China in check.
Why would China want to dominate all the trade routes to India? I thought they both were going to be making money on this Brics thing. It kind of looks like China's going to make all the money. Kind of like, well, if you do any research on the One Belt Road Initiative, every country that signs on to it, for which I did a video on, all lose money. It's amazing. Wow. So now the kumbaya, peace-loving, joyful neighbors making money, destroying the American economy, are setting up to go not only with economic war with each other, but nuclear war with each other. Go Brics! The other side of the story.
Check. But for this deterrent strategy to be effective in the long run, India needs both speed and scale. New inductions cannot be delayed.
Wow. I'm telling you, people, the information's out there. All you got to do is listen to all the information, and don't just take information that you like to hear because it'll make you wealthy if you hear that information. Not saying everyone does that, especially not people on my channel. That's why I don't have a lot of people on my channel. People that watch my show seem to be smarter than that. But most of your friends and family think like that, and neighbors and coworkers. A majority of America thinks the exact opposite of what this report shows. India is gearing up to have a nuclear war with China. The only thing that's going to stop that is nuclear deterrence. It sounds very similar to the 1950s Russia-America Cold War and the buildup in arms and the arms race 2.0. But if you can't see that and you only think Brics is going to be a successful, peace-loving thing, then what I have to say to you is, why the hell wasn't America and the Communist Russian Party trading publicly, making money during the Cold War? Is India and China going to try something new and have an actual nuclear-powered Cold War going on with each other and make money and be friendly? And, think what you want, but please think properly. Have a good day.